So this is some Doge analysis and maybe some technical analysis tips here that might help you. I've got Doge pulled up on a week chart. I've already marked our overall big move down and our pullback here. Why this is so important is because we rejected here at this price level, seemingly going to, continue the downtrend here, but when we got to this point, we actually made a higher low, so that was important, and then came up and made a slightly higher high. And the body of this candle, this big green candle on this July 14th week, closed above this candle on May 5th, and that is pretty significant. This was kind of the neckline here of what I would call a double bottom. I'm going to take these arrows off actually so you can see what I'm talking about. I like putting the arrows because it helps me identify more clearly, like the peaks and valleys of support and resistance, but I'll take that off for now. This double bottom is something that I recognized starting with this candle right here, this green candle. So we had a bottom that was put in. I think that this is a pretty solid level of support here because we were in a downtrend. So being in a downtrend here, I was looking for past support, not past resistance. So I was actually looking this area here, support. We caught support here. And then the price went up, it pulled back to our past level, our most recent support here, pulled up, came back down, and touched the top of this zone here, and then came up and then closed above it. We pulled back a little bit, but then we had a pretty nice green candle here, and the stock RSI looks to be pretty decent, although we have some divergence happening, so maybe the price just hasn't caught up yet. I'm not crazy about that, but I do see a double bottom here. So right now what I'm looking at is, since price came up and closed above this area, we've got a few things that I think could happen. Now that price has closed above this area, which was our past support, I'm actually going to be looking for it. I'm going to be looking where is the next resistance, because I'm picturing, all right, we're in an uptrend, price is going to be moving up next, so where's the next resistance? Good rule of thumb, I had to write this down because this is a lot to remember, but when price is in an uptrend, we're using the most recent past resistance as support. When price is in an uptrend, we're using historical past resistance, that's past resistance that's above where the price is currently, as new resistance, and then I'll get to downtrend in a minute, but given that, we're going to shift this up, and just to be safe, I'm going to put it at the next piece of resistance, which is right here. But we could probably, let's scroll back a bit. We'll see, has that been tested before? We kind of have like a zone happening here, so I'm going to go ahead and just clip this on here. So really, I'm looking for selling in this zone. So I think our next move could maybe look something like, let's see, we'll come up. Maybe even something like this. Let's actually slide this down just a bit. Slide this down. We'll try to get this a little bit more concise. Be looking at something like this here, where maybe we see the price kind of come up into this zone here, maybe testing our past resistance, and then because we are starting this uptrend, that's if this holds, everything, the caveat is if this holds, we're going to be using our most recent resistance now as support. So we'll draw those zones on here. That would be about here. We'll be looking to do something like this, pull back to here, and then we'd be looking to move forward up to here. And here we would either be looking for another pullback to continue this uptrend like this, or we would be looking to, if this breaks through, and does not close, come back down to one of these past levels, I would say once this broke through, if it did, that's when we would be looking to come down to a, say, we'll go over the downtrend possibilities and what I was getting to. Once you break your uptrend and you're in a downtrend, let's see, let me refer to where I wrote this so I can be concise about it. When price is in a downtrend, we're using historical past support as our support for going long. And when price is in a downtrend, we're using our most recent past support as resistance for going short. I'd write this down because sometimes this stuff, it's like when you're doing it, it's like you don't actually have to think about describing it to somebody. It's just kind of in your mind and you just kind of do it without thinking about it. So anyway, so if price came down and broke past this zone and made a lower low, broke below this level here, then we'd be saying, okay, all right, we're looking at the start of a downtrend. And if that happened, where would the next place that we would be looking be for support? I think that next place would be, if we're looking for recency, would be about this level here. We would be looking to clip this onto these candles here, and we would be looking for this level. So we would be looking for something like that. And that would be a heck of a move down. And I'm not saying I think that's what's going to happen, but that's my scenario if we were to go short and stall out here. So that's kind of how we use support and resistance. So yeah, there's that. But this is what I think is going to happen. This is what I'm leaning towards. We'll kind of see how that plays out in regards to a Fibonacci. We hook that on. Kind of lines up with a 227 a bit. Yeah, so we'll see how close this comes to actually happening. But hopefully this helped someone a little bit. Here's some examples of how this looks when we've got our arrows drawn on to kind of help identify these levels a little bit. Anyway, take care, guys.